Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Answering the Bell with Stormybman, our Sunday morning call-in for this Sunday, January 14th, 2024. This is 103 in the series of call-ins, and we're here this morning with grace and blessing to be able to rise, shine, and commune with this morning show of boxing talk, reflection, a look ahead, and to relive what we were able to enjoy with a pretty darn good evening of boxing from last night. I hope that everybody is able to stay warm and be comfortable as much as allowed. I mean, we're having some weird cold snaps coming across the country at this particular time. So it is a blessing to be able to be out of the elements, and for those less fortunate, I pray that a way be made for them to find some relief through all of this. We can't forget those that are less fortunate. So, we're here this morning, and we hope to have a good show. Hope to have a good conversation on the sport that we profess to love, but it doesn't love us back so much, you know? Yeah. Almost 1,000 people last night in the post-fight show. There are certain fighters who typically boost the numbers up when I do post-fight shows. Well, Artur Beterbiev had not been one of those until last night. And I found it very interesting to see so many people come around to see what Stormybman had to say about yesterday's ESPN card. It just goes to, support what I said earlier about the numbers and views of the channel. People will watch. People will tune in. They don't necessarily subscribe or support, but they'll hear what you have to say. And some will return. We have some out here this morning in the chat. There's a wellspring of interference, noise. That sometimes block the blessing of what's essential, what's needed. And we have to learn how to get beyond that noise and persevere. So, being what it is, I embrace and continue to forge ahead. Damn the torpedoes. Full steam ahead. Want to take a moment to see who we got in the building here. Mahari Nation Sports Podcast Numero uno in the chat saying, good morning, Stormy. 11 degrees outside in Minneapolis. Yeah, it's pretty cold out there today, brother. It's pretty cold. And you all get that before we do, because it comes, for whatever reason, sweeping from up north on down through. So, the Midwest. Jose Diaz out there saying, good morning, Stormy and chat. Hope everybody's doing well. Iron Fist Black in the building saying, yo, yo, yo. KP from KC is out there saying, salute, Sensei. Frigid here. 10. Yeah, minus 10. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My brother Boxing and Barbecue is in the house saying, morning, Stormy. Morning to you as well. Hey, man, I got your email, brother, and I'm looking things over and trying to see what I can put together. Want to acknowledge you on the air because I didn't respond to you by email yet, but just know that I will be working on some of those ideas. Appreciate you. He says, KP from KC says, minus 30 wind chill during the game last night. Man, that's one of the things. Let me tell you something. If I was a professional football player, I would not want to travel to these Midwest cities in the middle or heart of winter, man, when it could be like what it is right now. And you guys have no idea. It's like here in Chicago, Soldier Field sits right on the lakefront, man. I mean, literally, you can walk a block and you're at the lake. And all of that wind comes right up over that stadium, down into those seats and everything. I don't know how they do it. I tell you, I don't. I went to one game. The Bears were playing the Denver Broncos. This was back during the Broncos Super Bowl time. And it was a frigid December day, man. I'm sitting out there. I couldn't even concentrate on the game. I'm like, it's too cold. My dad was like, shut up. But see, when them people start putting them those brewskis in them, they get a little crazy. They had some Bear fans who would take their shirts off and be sitting up there, faces all flushed red and everything, and they just got a skull cap on. I'm like, man, them folks are crazy. They're going to be in the ER tomorrow night. Oh, my goodness. "21 degrees below zero and you out there like that. Man, that is, oh my goodness. Boy. Mr. Shelton's in the building saying most of my views come from people who are not subscribed. It's crazy. Yeah, you know, Mr. Shelton. It's really inexplicable, right? Dritch Richardson says, good morning, Stormy. That ain't nothing. Woke up to 3 feet of snow in Buffalo, New York. Let's go Bills. Hey, man. And y'all get the snow. What is up with that in Buffalo, man? You guys get dumped with snow like the heavens just pour a box of powder out. You know, it's like food. You guys always get that snow. You, Boston, and New England, man, what's up, bro? What is up there? See, we get frigid temperatures. Sometimes we could get a little snow too, but we don't get it like y'all get it up there in New York, man. Up in that Boston and New England area. I don't know what that's about. But it just goes to show it doesn't matter where you are. You got stuff to deal with. Some places have to deal with hurricanes. Some places have to deal with earthquakes. We have to deal with frigid temperatures. Some have to deal with the temperatures and the snow. Flooding. I mean, my goodness. It just goes to show, it don't matter where you are, bro. Some places, droughts, you know. So be careful. You know, say thank you, Creator. You know, thank you. We appreciate you. Because it could turn, right? It could turn, man. $704 Joe says Dallas 14 degrees. Wow. And that's not normal, right? 704 Joe. I've never lived or been to Dallas, but that can't be normal for you guys. Pipes busting and stuff. Oh my goodness. Mahari Nation says it's crazy cold today. KP from KC says I've been by there at the Bean and Harold's Chicken. It's colder in Chicago than here. Yeah, but that Harold's Chicken is something else, ain't it, KP? That'll warm you up a little bit, man. Give me a quarter mix, huh? Ketchup and hot sauce on that bad boy. And put my bread on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? That's what, hey, man. Harold's Chicken, bro. Woo. Man. You know that grease from the chicken and the fries and the sauce that you get put on it. You know, some people get mild sauce, some people get mild and hot, some people get ketchup and hot. You know, it's like, but it all a little bit drip down on that bread and the bread be a little soft. Man, let me tell you something. Harold's Chicken, bro, a staple of Chicago, I'm gonna tell you. Mahari Nation says it's the same thing with those crazy Packer fans in Lambeau Field. Yeah, man. It's a special breed of folks there, bro, I tell you. They take their shirts and coats off. I be putting them on top of my shirts and coats because I be trying to stay warm. Those are crazy fans, man. Dritch says, we right off Lake Erie. KP from KC says, the Midwest builds a different kind of man, bro. It sure does. He says, Dallas don't know about the faucet drip. Their lines are frozen probably. Yeah, you got to let that little water drip out that faucet, man, when the temperatures start getting cold like this, you know. Got to let that little drip. As long as the water can flow a little bit, the pipes won't freeze up and burst. What kills me is like some of those places that get the cold temperatures and stuff, like in Atlanta, if they got it, you know, I have a coworker that went there for business a few years ago, and they had a cold snap in Atlanta, and they was like closing up stuff, and they put all this sand down on the streets when it got icy. It was like, sand ain't gonna help you. You need to put some rock salt down there. You know, it's like sand is just gonna make a mess. He was telling me about some neighborhood he went through, and it was like some real good food in there. But he said, man, they had all these bars and stuff on the windows and doors. He was like, but the food was good. The line was outside. I was like, yeah, man, that's called the hood. Oh, man. Man. Mahari Nation says, I recently viewed old photos of the Minnesota Vikings in the 60s and 70s when they played in Metropolitan Stadium. They played when it was minus 40 degrees without any heaters. Yeah, brother. Crazy, right? When men were men. You see what I'm saying? KP was right. He says Dallas does sand too, Stormy. Man, let me tell you something. This is where y'all should get on your mayor, and tell them, listen, we would like to petition to purchase a certain percentage of rock salt from cities who get snow on a regular basis. Have it shipped in and stockpiled just in case, and then you'll be good to go. Purchase a salt truck or two just to have in town, because the sand is not gonna help. But listen, it'd be lessons to be learned throughout this process. There's lessons to be learned. Salute to the brother 78 Sports TV in the building. What's happening, General? I hope you doing good up there in Milwaukee, man. I know y'all been catching hell as well. We finally started getting those temperatures. We still ain't had much snow, but the temperatures, bro, my goodness. -8 for us today, 78. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, he says we got over a foot of snow and it's freezing. Man, I hate when it happens like that, bro. I hate when it happens like that. Man, I'd rather have the snow or the freezing, but I don't like both, man, because when it's both, oh man, it makes it a living hell. It really does. Salute to Detroit, BC out there. I see you. Tay, what's going on? She says, Stormy B, man. Master Seafood, good morning. Aaron Butler says, salute. 45 degrees down here in Tucson, Arizona. Been 10 years now. Summer high temperatures and droughts are real though. Yeah. Each region has their, poison, man. It's like you don't get off scot-free, You don't. Jose Diaz says, Stormy, what happens if your heater breaks? I live in Florida, Miami. Listen, when you live in an area like where we live, myself, Mahari Nation, 78, this Midwest region, we come to expect the cold snaps. So we purchase and have equipment in our homes that are designed to deal with the conditions that we endure. See, like in certain areas, like on the West Coast, you have, you need AC, right? Because it gets so hot and stuff like that. Well, here, we emphasize during the winter months our furnaces and hot water tanks and all of that stuff. Listen, Just know that the company Carrier, they are a major company. I'm just using them as an example. They be covering the bases, huh? That's why going to HVAC school is a great idea if you're going to be in the Midwest. Because when stuff break down, guess who they calling? You, huh? That's called employment security right there. Tay says, don't bring that snow here to New York. Yeah. It's supposed to snow here on Tuesday. He says, if Jose is asking, if there's a lot of snow, how do you open up your door to get outside? Well, see, Jose, we are practicing. We follow the weather Doppler. You know what I'm saying? We follow the weather Doppler, and when they say expect 8 to 10 inches of snow or whatever, you get up and you go out in the mid portion of the snowfall and you start doing what we call snow removal. You battle the elements by keeping up with what the snowfall is. A few inches fall, you clear it. A few inches fall, you clear it. Sometimes if it's a light dusting, you shovel that to the side or push it to the side. But you have to work in cycles of doing snow removal. We have snow blowers, snow machines, all of that stuff. Shovels. That's what we do. That's what we do, and that's all a part of the process. We do this, and it's just like, getting your AC ready to be turned on in the spring and summertime. That's all. Listen, man. That's why, and I don't take, like Jose asking those questions, I don't take that as an offense, believe me. Because if you haven't experienced those conditions, you don't know. I remember I was talking to the brother Trick Noti. Shout out to Trick. He said he was going to visit. He's down there in Texas. He said he was going to visit somebody on the East Coast. But he didn't think about the weather change when he got off the plane. He said he went down there. He had like a little windbreaker jacket on and short sleeve shirt and everything. He got off the plane. He was like, what the hell? It's cold as hell out here. He had to go to the store and buy a coat. Huh? Hey, man, that's how it is. You know what I mean? It's like, listen, it happens. Huh? The climate changes when you go from one part of the world to another. Huh? So yeah, that's what that's all about. Detroit BC says, and drop some salt down. Yep, gotta keep your rock salt. I picked up a bag yesterday. Huh? I have two, but I picked up another just in case, because they might hit us. They may hit us with the whammy. You gotta be ready, man. I had 2 bags of rock salt that hadn't even used over the past few years. But I was like, you know what? Stormy gonna have to do something. Gonna have to do something. Yeah, you have to be ready for these temperatures, man. You have to be ready for everything that they do. You have to be ready. Detroit BC says snow blowers are mandatory. Yes, they are. Absolutely. KG in the building. Salute KG. Says that little ass jacket got disrespected. Man, let me tell you something. That's got to be one of the worst feelings in the world. When you go and you forget about the climate, and you go from a warm place and you get there and the temperature is like a 40 or 50 degree difference, man, that'll give you a snap of reality you wasn't even expecting, you know? That's hilarious to me. That is hilarious. KP says, elders leave Missouri during these months and we call them snowbirds. Yeah, that's what we call them as well. That's the name. That's the name. I'm about to become one of them elders as soon as I can find a way to get up out of here. But I don't know if I'll be back. I'll be like, hey, I'll see y'all in the spring. Spring come, winter come again. Y'all be like, dang, Stormy ain't come back. Yeah, it's just something, right? To be able to have to deal with those conditions, man. And it's no surprise we're all talking about it this morning because more than a few of you it's affecting, I see. So y'all my brothers and sisters in arms on this subject, I tell you. Because it's rough, man. It's rough. Tay says that background looks so peaceful and the music. Yeah, you know, you have to set that ambiance, you know. It's the new, not new, but, you know, Stormy likes that metaphor that Bruce Lee used to use for water, you know. Be like water, always be flowing, never stop, consistent. You know, water is one of the most insubstantial elements that we have and one of the most powerful, but it appears to be soft, you know, but water is something. KG is asking, you talk about the Better Beef Smith fight yet? Not this morning, on the post-fight show last night, but no, not this morning. I haven't got to it yet. I intend to talk about it. I really do. But salute to Mahari Nation Sports Podcast put us on this subject about this weather, man. How can we not, you know, acknowledge our lives being affected by these temperatures, bro? Dang. Yeah, we're going to talk about it, though. So we're going to get ready to open things up. Maybe we can get some people to call in, you know, and talk about this wonderful fight that we watched last night. Arthur Bitterbeef doing his thing, you know. Arthur is known to get people up out of there. Salute to Dr. Mark out there in the chat. See, Flawless Mentality and Black Excellence, hosted by, good morning. T-Berry says, I got this heater on at work and I'm still cold. Listen, man. You have to become versed in what type of heaters to get as well. I bought a space heater, man, from...
Oh, that's what I was asking, if you had talked about the Better Bees and Calvin Smith fight.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Welcome, bro. How you doing this morning?
I'm breathing. You know what I'm saying? That's better than the alternative.
Listen, man.
No, but everything's good, man. Everything's good. I missed the call last show that you did when you guys were breaking down the fight. So I said I was waiting for today's show, and I was hoping I didn't miss because I was just out taking care of some stuff, and I came in. I didn't want to miss you talking about the Arthur Butterbees fight and Colin Smith fight because I know you like to actually talk boxing. Look what was doing inside the square circle.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and I typically the Sunday morning call-in show is like it's a 2-hour show, and I usually warm it up with a little bit of conversation. And today we were talking about this weather snap, man, that a lot of the Midwest and most of the country is dealing with. So, but no, I hadn't even got to boxing yet, but we're here now. So if you like, you can let me know what your thoughts are. I'm getting some feedback in the chat that some people are saying the audio is a little low.
I switched how I'm going to communicate. So I put it up to my I had you on speaker, so that's probably why I was kind of low.
Yeah, and I can't control that because this is through Google, and the sound settings are where they are. I've maxed everything that I can on my end, and I apologize for not being able to get it any higher than that. I'm listening to our playback in an earpiece, and I keep that a little low just so I can know that there is audio. But as I increase it on my device, I can hear better as I raise it up. So some people during the calls may just have to raise their audios from the normal levels that they listen to. And I apologize for that because I can't do anything about that. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, please go ahead with what your thoughts. What do you want to talk about regarding the fight?
Last night's fight, Stormy, you might share my sentiments. Last night, to me, was a case of basics on top of basics. We didn't see any special features. We seen a guy that was, 3 to 4 inches shorter, 5-inch reach disadvantage, but yet he was able to park a jab 95 times. That was a thing of beauty, and the guy that I was watching the fight with, they said, Butterbees' jab is underrated. I was like, no, I've always known he had it. You know what I'm saying? I said, he's a patient fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody sees the power. That's all they see. They see the determination. They see the power, but they don't see the skill set as far as boxing. You know what I'm saying? I'm using proper guard. I'm willing to take the punches that I'm willing to take, and at the same time, I think he takes them to see what, you know what I'm saying, see what's going to be coming back when he knows he's ready to let his hands go.
Mm-hmm.
And Callum, to me, he got fearful, and I was like, this was a fight that I felt he should have. I know he kind of bends over at the waist a little. You know what I'm saying? He gives up inches. I believe this was a fight he should have fought a little bit taller, and actually, you know what I'm saying, you utilize the jab as something to create offensive traffic, not necessarily look to land it, but just try to keep Beterbiev honest on the outside. And
right.
He failed at that big time.
Yeah, he failed in his approach to this fight in so many areas. I'm running out of boxes to check for him. First of all, taking the fight, because I just wanted to say, and I repeated this last night on my post-fight show, I did a breakdown video on this fight, and I have indicated that if you watched his fight against Canelo Alvarez, you should have known what was going to happen to him in this fight. They masked his performance post Canelo with he beating up two guys who weren't even in his league with devastating knockouts. A left hook with one guy, a right hand with another. So we're supposed to think that he's some beast of a guy when that was just unproven in the previous fight against the most elite fighter he had faced in Canelo, who also was only 5'8" or so, shorter reach, kind of needed to get close to you to be successful. He didn't command real estate in that fight. He didn't execute controlling distance. He didn't utilize the jab, which he had set a record in a fight prior to facing Canelo for a number of jabs thrown. And so I looked at all of this and I was laughing. I was laughing because I was like, you guys think that this man is going to go in there against this true killer. Now, let me say this. I don't use my words unwisely. Artur Beterbiev is a throwback fighter. He's something that you guys don't see today. There's not another Artur Beterbiev in another weight class of the divisions of boxing today, which is why I said on my show last night, if you had more of those kind of men, you would have more of the fights that you crave, that you think you would want to see. There wouldn't be room to have fanboys because you would separate men from boys in the sport. This man is the kind of guy you can put him back in the era of guys like Matthew Saad Muhammad and those guys, Michael Spinks. If you want to go back even before that, and you go back to the guys from the 60s and the 50s, because he's cut from a different mold. That doesn't mean that he's the only one, but he's right now one of those ones. And if you look at how he prepares, it doesn't matter how old he is. You had people downing him because he's 38 years old. But you're talking about a 38 years old man. Did you look at his body?
Physical specimen.
Yeah, but that comes from taking care of yourself. When he's not boxing, he don't think about boxing. He don't watch boxing. He don't know these guys out here until his people start telling him, hey, this guy's on the radar. We might be having to fight him. Okay, let me know. Give me a call. He's with his family. He's studying his faith. And he lives the life of a civilian, meaning that he's, removed from the BS in the world. But he's a man of principles, too. In his mind, and I know so much about him because I've talked person to person with John Scully. Scully is a friend, and we've had a couple of shows that we've done, and I intend to speak to him very soon again. But Scully has been so gracious in revealing certain things that I know more about him than just a person watching the guy on television. And Scully is an assistant trainer that has worked with him for the past 9 years or so. But you're talking about a man who, if he signs the contract to fight you, he looks at it as he's taking on a mission to his faith that he's got a job to do. And he's got to be the best he could be. He's a professional. He's going to put forth his best effort, so forth and so on. And I know that sounds kind of like cliche-ish or whatever, but think about the world we're living in presently. People don't like being professional no more. People find excuses and reasons to blame everything externally outside of them for their failures.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to be praised all the time for accomplishing the most basic of things. You see it all the time.
All the time.
And that's why there's a misconstrued notion. When I heard Smith and his camp talking about, we feel it's our time, we're going to go in there. And then they even added to the thing that they said, because of the atypical finding in his blood work from the VADA testing, they was like, oh, we think he might be juicing and everything. And this guy don't drink, don't smoke, don't use no drugs or anything. And to say something like that to this kind of guy, that's a real insult to him. It's also you challenging his faith and what he believes in and everything, because he don't believe in those things. But if you've seen him work out and train, if you've seen his hands, this man twirls dumbbells, bars, them 40 and 50 pound, 60 pound bars. He twirls them like a baton with one hand. There's raw strength.
Stormy, I don't mean to cut you off, but I said something to that effect on the Beltway over at the Green Beef Boxing Talk on Friday when they asked me about the testosterone levels. I said, as humans, we got a chemical imbalance. That's why they tell you not to skip leg days, not because you got small legs, but because the body naturally produces testosterone from the feet up. It doesn't go down. You know what I'm saying? So they say he does a lot of legs. I said, yeah. I said, that's where it came from. And coincidentally, when that test came, he had just came off of leg day.
Yeah.
He came off of a leg workout. So, yeah, his levels are high.
Yeah.
Be abnormally high.
And the thing about it is, again, like what you just said, if you claim to want to know about the sport, research things, learn and get yourself, abreast of on what happens and everything so that you can make proper assessments. When these guys start talking foolishness, then it's like, and then people, bandwagoners, I call them, they jump on and pile on and say, yeah, that's what, and I'm going to tell you something. They really built this up primarily on that little bit of negativity that came out during the last week of this press conference. But I'm telling you, I'm looking at Smith and his performances prior, and I'm like, there is nothing about his performances that told me that he's ready for what he's getting ready to face in there. Someone asked me in my post-fight last night, they said, Stormy, do you think that Anthony Yard gave a better performance than Smith? I said, absolutely he did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely he did. I said, Yard gave a performance of someone trying to compete. He had athleticism, he had strength and power and youth, but he got to a point in the fight where Arthur was getting to him, because Arthur's thing is, it's a slow burn. And you either are built to last or not. And when Yard had hit his wall, his people stopped the fight, which was a smart thing to do. Now, let's take it to Buddy McGirt working with Smith. Yes, they're paying you, Buddy. But you're out there and you could see that what Arthur did in this fight, there's so many boxes to check in that. I'm going to need another page. Because, first of all, did you see the small ring?
Yeah. Yep.
That was check mark number 1 against Callum Smith. Check mark number 2 was they thought they knew Arthur Bitterbeef. They hadn't done their homework. They had not. You know why? And I'll tell you why. Everything that I said about the man presently, has indicated something about him that they haven't displayed. And you know what that is?
What's that?
That's he's dangerous. And if a fighter is dangerous, you have to prepare for him like he's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
In the very first round, when the opening bell rang, Arthur went right across that ring and started business. Yes, he typically starts slow. However, remember the words that were said during the presses leading up, the challenges about maybe he's juicing and things of that nature. He went out to set a precedent and went upside that man's head early in that fight and took his heart. The body followed a few rounds later, but the heart had vacated before the end of the bell of the first round ended. See, now, if he chose to, he could go out there like a Mike Tyson and blitz you and get you on up out of there. But if you notice, when he opened up on Callum early in the fight, he pulled back because he wanted to see the response. He wanted to see how, he's dealing with things. And understand this. You heard me mention killer, predator, aggressor. When you are those things and you have fought in battles, in wars, people typically fall under 5 specific personality traits, and you can be a combination of one or more. That's what a lot of people don't understand. So a real warrior like this man in Better Beef can assess who he's in there with. He can assess whether he's in there with a warrior or not. When he was in against Gavoskic, he was in against another warrior, and he broke that man. Any of you think that Callum Smith was as good or even better than Gavoskic? You're crazy. He made Gavoskic go back to the corner and tell Teddy Atlas, I don't want to go back out there.
Those are my kind of victories.
Teddy Atlas was trying to convince Gavoskic to go back out there. The man was done. We're talking about 6 rounds already. What round did he stop Callum in last night?
7.
Now, the other thing, a box to be checked. He hit that man so hard with a body shot he almost folded like a lawn chair in the backyard, didn't he?
Yeah.
But did he continue to do that? No. He started hitting them other places too. You know why? It's because the experience of battle. If I wound you here, now you're worried, right? You're worried. Like, I got to take better care of that spot. And then, boom, you get wounded over here near the eye. Now you can't hardly see too good. Then, boom, you get hit in the floating rib. And you're like, damn. Mental anguish, mental pressure is upon you. Then now you can't think about the things that you had intended to do. You're starting to think about self-preservation.
Mm-hmm.
Does this make sense to you?
Makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. Because now that I've taken your best weapon away from you, not your skills, your confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Without that, what happens?
The man is crumbled. You take the will away from him.
Yeah. You see? So when Buddy McGirt finally climbs his rotund self through those ropes, waving his arms, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. What you send him out there for?
But he was talking big shit before the fight.
Yeah. Yeah. This is my point. See, you can only talk like that if you've achieved and accomplished that. You see, But there's a lot of people doing a lot of talking nowadays, right? It's like it happens. But the thing about it is that all stemmed from Ali. Ali used to talk the talk. But Ali told you, I got that from Gorgeous George, the wrestler. I wanted to be a person that people put eyes on me and this and that. But he was confident in his abilities because he was more than capable. But you got guys that are talking, but they're not even confident. What are you talking for? You definitely ain't going to sign the contract and fight people. Tank Davis and all these guys. You see these guys out here. Shakur Stevenson did more talking than almost anybody, but when he got in there against De Los Santos, he fought like he was a bird in a cage and there was a little cat in there trying to grab him. You know, it's like, what is that? He's like, oh, well, he was hurt, he was injured. That's the thing to say. Why his lips wasn't hurt? Why his mouth wasn't injured? See, don't show me in the ring what you're doing. That's why I say Callum didn't have a chance in hell. But if I come on and say that, then y'all get mad at me. Who the hell does Stormy think he is? You know, he don't have a chance in hell. Well, where did he get sent to last night if it wasn't the ER? Boxing hell, huh? Because it's going to be hell to come back from that because he had his confidence taken from him. He got beaten up. He wasn't good enough. And even he in the post-fight said, I thought that I would be better than that.
No. I'm like you, Stormy. I overlooked those last two fights. I had a flashback of when Canelo busted up his bicep. When I seen that, I was like, what do you think Wolverine, that's what I call Arthur Beterbiev. I call him Wolverine. I think Wolverine will do to him.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think he's going to do to him? He's going to chip away at him. He's going to take the man away from the man. I said, the thing is, I believe he could have got him out of there in 3, but the man said, I put this training in, I clocked in, let's work. Let me see what I've been, let me go ahead and then distribute what I've been working on. And I think it was almost a demo for Bivol. I feel it was a demo for Bivol.
Listen, man.
Let him know, like, are you sure you want to do this?
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. There are people who really think highly of Bivol, especially since he had the victory over Canelo. His victory over Canelo was basically his footwork, which Canelo definitely has problems with. Floyd gave the blueprint on that, and being busy with his hands. He let his hands go, didn't give Canelo a chance to counter, stayed at a certain distance that was, profitable for him and was a problem for Canelo. That's why Canelo never pursued the rematch or anything. He's just going to pretend like he never fought the guy, like he pretends like he never fought Floyd. You know what I mean? But the bad thing about that is it turned Bivol into an element of nature to turn against against Beterbiev. Now, what people don't know is they worked together in the gym years ago, and Arthur beat the crap out of him in the gym. Beat him bad. That's why Bivol was never anxious to mention him or whatever. And if you noticed over the last couple of years, he said stuff like, yeah, I would like to unify for Undisputed or whatever. But Bivol has had trouble with guys who are not as good as Callum Smith.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're talking about getting in there with this man. Dimitri Bivol has never been in there with a killer. Never. That's what this man is. And you have to survive 12 rounds to get a decision. You have to have power to go along with boxing ability and everything to win inside the distance. And Bivol doesn't have those things that can make him go to the distance. He will be stopped inside the distance. In fact, I could see his corner being smart enough to not send him out after a little while.
I can see that. I
Yeah.
can definitely see that. I don't think he's physically strong. He, you know, like I equate punching power and physical strength as a different attribute.
Absolutely.
Some people got punching power, but some people's physical strength is what keeps them in the fight because they're able to not get bullied. I don't think Bibble's strong enough not to get bullied, and doesn't have enough punching power to keep better be honest to keep him off of him. He can point fight him, but that's gonna go for so long until he gets touched. And once he gets touched, he's gonna freeze in front of Better Beef. And he's gonna really have to be on his bicycle. We might see him really on a bicycle with that fight.
And Better Beef has boxing ability that is severely underrated because people see the knockouts. When you look at how he gets rid of people, there's a fighter that he reminds me of, and I mentioned this last night. I'm going to ask you who you might think that is. A pretty modern day fighter, champion that was revered and respected. But I'm going to ask you, who do you think that might be? There's a fighter that he reminds me of, how he goes about his business and the success he has. Who would you think that might be? There's actually two of them, and they're two different type of fighters.
You just put me on the spot there, Stormy. I'm trying to.
If you misguess, it's not, I'm not holding it over your head, but I'm gonna and I can tie him to you, and I'll tell you why he reminds me of those guys.
Because you're gonna say a name, and I'm gonna say, damn, yeah. Who you got?
Two very prominent names in the sport. They no longer fight, but they were so good in their day. Okay, I'll just share with you.
Yeah, who you got?
Julio Cesar Chavez.
Okay.
And Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Now,
I can see Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Okay.
Not so much JTC.
Okay. Now, Chavez is someone that most of our present day audience know him for like the last, I would say, 15 to 18% of his career. But you would have to go back to prior to he fighting Meldrick Taylor, when he was like a featherweight, and saw him move up through those divisions of the lightweight divisions and see how good he became. Chavez would break guys down. He could take a shot. He had all the punches in the arsenal. He had a good jab. He had subtle footwork and movement to position himself and he would move around guys. He had a tremendous left hook to the body. He could wade in under your punches and start getting shots off. He could throw a lead right hand like a power jab and knock you off balance. He worked the body. He worked the head. He had good punch placement. And then when he started to open up on you, he would unleash combinations. Julio Cesar Chavez was no joke. Now, it would have been amazing to see Salvador Sanchez and Julio. That would have been an amazing thing. But unfortunately, Salvador was no longer around. However, Chavez was never in a hurry. Never in a hurry. But he came on like a wave. He was just on you, in your face. It's like people were looking like, damn, here he come. If you listen to that interview that Roger Mayweather gave before he passed away, when they were interviewing him in this gym, and they were saying like, can you tell us about your fights with Julio Cesar Chavez? He was like, man, that son of a gun, he could take a punch. And he's like, and he never stopped coming. Never stopped coming. Marvin Hagler, the very same thing. Marvin was never in a hurry, but he relished breaking you down. He would go in there working off of his jab, clubbing you with shots. He would hit you here, he would hit you there, and if you could take it, good. He gonna give you more. But it was like he was never double parked outside the arena. He had valet, and he was there for 15 or less.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, even Richard Pryor told this joke about him. He was like, you ever seen that dude? Talking about Hagler. Bald head fighter. He's like, the bell get ready to ring and he hitting himself. Doo, 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 doo. And he come out. That was Hagler. Hagler would be hitting himself.
Mm-hmm.
Ready to fight. And you round 7, round 8, and you huffing and puffing. 15 rounders back then, so you knew you had to save and reserve a certain amount of stamina to go to the distance for 15, right? But Hagler gets you thinking like, is it time to go home yet? Because now, just like against Anthony Yard, Bitterbeef told his corner when Yard's people stopped the fight, he was disappointed. He said he was just warming up. What? That wasn't boasting. That's the man's disposition. He was like, man, I hate they stopped it because I was just warming up. That's what he told his cornerman.
That's a wheel breaker, Stormy. Like
Exactly.
You say that?
Exactly. But see, this is why I'm categorizing him with guys like that. Because that's what they did. Now imagine, Chavez and Hagler, their careers overlapped in the era where they were active fighters. I said there's no one like Bitterbeef in his era in any other division. I said that earlier in this conversation.
Yes.
And it's true. Who?
I can't even think of anybody.
Thank you.
That has that type of determination.
Thank you. That's called throwback, bro. And see, when you understand these things and you can allow yourself to have that separation to bring clarity, then you can make the assessments and stand firm and soundly on them, because people can't put it to the test because it don't exist presently. You got guys that are more concerned about securing a bag. I want to hold out for that great payday.
Mm-hmm.
You have seen the best of Jermell Charlo. You will never see any of that great stuff that you had seen with that potential when he was accelerating toward becoming an undisputed fighter. You're never going to see that again because he sold himself out. He compromised.
Mm-hmm.
Bitterbeef don't fight for the bag.
No.
He fights for other reasons. And he performs like it. They asked the man, when do you consider yourself to be a good boxer? He said, maybe in another 5 or 10 years. Do you intend to fight another 5 or 10 years? He's like, we'll see, but he's like, I don't consider myself good yet. That type of humbleness with his character and personality will allow him to continue to be successful as he is.
He's allowing himself to continue to be the student. I know what I didn't do good. I know I'm working on something new. I know I can get in here and do this, but I didn't do what Coach told me to do. That's a dedicated fighter. When we go back to the saying, fighters fight. Yeah, that's all they got. Like you said, he's deep into his faith. He trains.
Yes.
That's why I say, look, I don't know if you're retired, if you still work, but I know me. I get up in the morning. I got to go to work. I got to go to the gym after. I got to take care of my daughters. I said, a fighter, I said, your lifestyle, your livelihood, all you have to do is get up and train. Get up and train and stay focused in this thing that we love called boxing. If you can maintain that focus, and when somebody calls your name, you shouldn't be too far out of your weight. You should be there, you shouldn't be avoiding anybody. You should already have something in your mind as to what's going to go down in your team if you have a solid team around you. They already have something laid out for you to say, hey, we already got this guy knocked out. Don't even worry about it, because we know you don't watch boxing. We know you don't pay attention to these guys. You're focused on your family time, and when it's time to work, you come to work.
Right.
Our guys can't do that. They want to be on social media. They want, like you said, they want to worry about the bag. They want to worry about protecting their oath. I don't like that. I understand get your money, because I understand it's different now. You don't have to fight 10 times a year like fighters once did. But now, guys want the bag so bad that they're avoiding, and they're risking putting themselves on the shelf. And your best ability is availability. If you're on the show, when you come back off and fight a top-notch guy, you wonder why, I was off tonight because of this. No, that's not the case, bro. You were inactive. You were worried about chasing the bag, and this guy stayed active. That's a big downfall in today's boxing. Guys won't keep themselves busy because the money's not big enough. I'm not taking that fight for him. This guy, he don't put no ass in him. He don't bring enough cachet. Stay busy, because the guy that you plan on fighting that's trying to build a big fight for, he fought 3 times this year.
Right.
He fought 2 times. Yeah, you got to keep the wheels moving, because that's what you're here to do. You signed up to be a fighter. All you have to do is stay in shape and keep the mindset that I want to continue to fight.
Yes.
And keep a team around you that's pouring that into you. If that's not being done, then you need to venture off to the commentary or be a trainer, be something, especially if you feel you still have boxing in your bones. You know what I'm saying? But if you can't damn wake up and eat, sleep, and shit this boxing, then you might as well go get a damn 9-to-5 like me.
100.
But I'm not gonna hold you up too much longer, Stormy, because I know you probably got your switchboard over there lighting up with everybody's going to call in and talk to you. I just wanted to get in and talk to you real quick and get educated like I always do when I listen in, and now I'm getting it direct. So,
hey, brother, I appreciate you calling in, and you never, hesitate to call in, because I appreciate people calling and being able to bring a conversation about our beloved sport, and again, I just only hope that I was able to bring some points out to help crystallize, what was being seen, because it's very important to do that, because you can make assessments and everything, but when you have something founded in some actual factual foundations, you can go from there. But when you can't build a house on sand, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I was trying to say.
You said it.
Yeah.
You know me and you share a lot of sentiments. You articulate it a little different to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It comes out the same way, and you know what I'm saying. And I know you love what goes on inside that ring as much as I do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you. And I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna tell everybody that's listening, if you don't mind, tap into Supreme Beat Boxing Talk Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Myself, Cadillac Red, and the usual suspects.
Yeah, you can actually, when you get a moment, put the link in the chat. You're welcome to do that. Before you go, I got one last question for you.
Uh-oh.
No. On last night's card, did you see the women's fight, Espinoza and Berdouin? Did you see that?
I think that was the only fight I missed, because I saw the Sanchez and Maloney fight, and then I saw the Mbili fight.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed with Mbili. He's an offensive fighter, but his defense was lazy. I'm like, if that was somebody else, that Mahorn guy could have got him out of there, because you can't strike and be striky with your offense, but your defense is lazy when it comes back.
Absolutely.
That really threw me off with him that night. And I had a couple of guys trying to big him up and build him up, and I wasn't impressed.
Well, I'm recommending go back and watch the Espinoza fight against Berdouin. That's a rematch between 2 women, super featherweights. And when you watch Layla Berdouin, look at her beautiful boxing ability. When we were seeing years ago Ann Wolfe and Layla Ali and Christy Martin, all of them, there were not women boxing like this woman boxed last night. And like I said, that was a rematch of those 2 having faced one another before. And she didn't fight Espinoza that way the first time. They kind of was in there banging each other out and everything. Man, she was sticking, moving, side to side, in and out, slipping, she boxed better than a lot of men. She looked great. And I talked about her last night, and I said, I can't wait to see her again. That was my first time seeing her. But I'm like, whoa, she looked great. So I'm kind of promoting the fact that, you know, when you can see good boxing, you see good boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what that is. So, but yeah, man, we appreciate you, bro. Thank you for your call, man.
All right. You have a great remainder of your day.
You too, brother. Later.
All right.
All right. That's the brother KG, excuse me. KG. And put that link in the chat too, brother. Trill Will, I see you out there. That's me said he was trying to call. If you want to try again, that's me. The line is now open. So that was a great first call of the day. That's what it's all about, being able to have a conversation on this. Chilltown Majors, I see you out there. Hari Nation, you still out there? Champion Heart, what's good with you? Daryl Alexander, I see you. Antonio MMA. Universal Truth. Okay, we got 651 in the building. Who's calling? What's on your mind?
Yours surely is Mr. Mahari in the building trying to survive this crazy coldness here in Minneapolis. What's good, brother?
Man, what's happening, man? It's so cold out there, bro, and I got to go out there and try to get my car running and everything in this cold, because I ran some errands yesterday, but you still got to do your thing, you know what I'm saying? So, right. Yeah.
You know, the one thing for everybody that's listening to the chat, when you're living in like Arctic coldness, like me and Stormybman is 782, you gotta let the car run for at least about 15 to 30 minutes before you get out there and start driving. Because if you don't, I guarantee you, your car's gonna start, doing some crazy things, and the engine might burn out. I've seen that many times before, and it ain't fun, especially in the cold time.
Yeah.
Don't rush yourself. Take your time.
Yep. That's what you gotta do, man. You gotta, cause they to be honest, it's like some of these temperatures are like they're unnatural. So it's like the machines weren't really built for that, It's like,
No. Absolutely not. No. But it is what it is. See, I wanted to talk to you about, the art of better BS, Alan Smith, like, and highlights of it last night, and then this morning I was able to see the fight from start to finish. The way I look at Arthur Beterbiev, he reminds me of the version of Khabib Nurmagomedov when he was fighting in the UFC, and the fact that, when you look at Arthur Beterbiev, he is scientific in terms of his craft in boxing. He knows how to utilize his skill set, and the scary part is he's a powerful puncher too. And when he was breaking down Callum Smith, he was just slowly, methodically breaking him down. And to be honest with you, he could have knocked him out early. But like what KG said in the last call, he wanted to see how he would respond to his power. And as the fight progressed, you saw him breaking him down to the point where even, Buddy McGirt saw what was about to happen. And when he got knocked down the second time, he was like, yeah, man, I can't let this go on. Because he knew what was going to happen if the fight would continue on in the seventh.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say about what Arthur Beterbiev here is, he provides a different, unique skill set, and with power punching that is very, very scary. And it don't matter how old he is. I look at him still as a young fighter, even at his, at his early, even in his late 30s. And if he were to step in the ring with, Dmitry Bivol, he's going to have a hard time trying to figure out how to stop that relentless power. Because what the thing with Arthur Beterbiev is, as you guys said it many times, he keeps coming. He's going to keep relentlessly coming until you break. You know what I mean? So that's what my thoughts were.
Yeah. Let me. I want to kind of try to put you all on a different path about talking about Beterbiev's power. Because there's a misconception about power in boxing of this present day. That power is something that a fighter needs to be successful. That power is something that drives a lot of fighters' success. And to a degree, that might be true. But when it comes to Artur Beterbiev, I don't think that that's the case with him. I think it's the strength, the constitution of the man, coupled with the talent that he has, that allows him the successes that he has in the ring. There are not a lot of men that he faces in the division where he competes that prepare the way he does, that have the mental, psychological approach to what they do as he does, that have the talent that he does. And see, when you are talking about these variables, they are what make a complete fighter. Last night, Joe Tessitore made a remark during the fight that this is a man who's never been off his feet. Arthur has been down, I think, twice in his career. He's been knocked off his feet. Mm-hmm. But because a fighter gets knocked down, that doesn't mean that's the end. There are fighters who've never been knocked off their feet. There are fighters who have gotten down, who've been down and got up and won fights, won championships. But it's the constitution of a man. It's his makeup that is what's being short-sighted here. Is he a one-punch knockout guy? No. His one punch can get you in trouble. But when you look at his opponents, what do you see? You see a bunch of guys beaten up. Mike Tyson knocked a lot of guys out but didn't beat them up.
Right.
Tommy Hearns knocked out a lot of guys but didn't beat them up. Marvin Hagler beat up a lot of guys. And people were concerned that he was going to do the same to Sugar Ray Leonard. That's why that was such a big fight at the time and everything, because people thought Sugar Ray being off 3 years and Hagler being the fighter that he is, man, he gonna beat Ray Leonard up. Julio Cesar Chavez beat people up. Did he not beat up Hector Camacho, Jose Luis Ramirez, Meldrick Taylor? So many guys that we, can look back. He beat these guys up. This man is a present day fighter who beats people up. It's hard to go the distance with him. And those are the type of attributes that get overlooked when fighters are talking about getting in the ring and going up against him. They're looking at it like, oh, I'm a better boxer. I can do this. I can do that. But that old saying, war is hell. When you're in there with him, he approaches the fight like that. You may be thinking, I'm going to land my left hook, or I'm going to land my right hand. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But he's thinking, I'm going to take your legs away. I'm going to bust your ribs. I'm going to break your jaw. I'm going to see how hard you can take a punch to the floating rib, the solar plexus. It's like, it's a different thing. It's different. If I were working with a fighter that's going to fight him, my entire training camp and preparation would be dual. It would be psychological as well as the conditioning. Because the conditioning is a factor. We want to be able to make sure that you can go bell to bell, 1 to 12. And that's going to be hard. Anything you've done or accomplished prior to this, meeting this one individual, is going to be something that, it's you've never faced before. But in this, you need to be prepared for this. And I think the sooner that opponents start realizing that, the better off they could fare. But any of the trainers and coaches of whoever's on the opposite side of the bitter beef camp should always be prepared to pull their fighter out of that fight before he takes too much. Because a man who beats people up like that, he could ruin you.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely see what you're saying, especially when you talk about the fact that there's many boxers out there that know how to systematically beat you down without having one punch knockout power, like you said before. Now, let me ask you a question. I know your favorite heavyweight is Evander Holyfield. Would you put Evander Holyfield as the type of fighter that was the guy that systematically broke you down, or was a guy that had some one-punch knockout power at the time?
No, Evander was not a guy that break you down. Evander was a guy that would compete with you. He had the ability to box. He had very good boxing skills. And he had a very good left hook. So most of the coaches and trainers used to train fighters, and you don't even see it happening a lot today, to finish their combinations with a left hook, because the left hook is a punch that brings your balance back. After you finish punching, left hook brings your balance back. Well, if you're a southpaw, then it's the right hook that brings your balance back. Well, Evander was very good at that. But what he found out during his career is he could take a shot, which made him even more brave to wade in the trenches. Then he found out that his tank, as far as digging deep, was a little more than most of his contemporaries. when he found that element out about people, he would do things to temperature check the individual. Sometimes it worked to his graces. Other times it led to war, and he still could prevail. Sugar Ray Leonard would do that too. Sugar Ray Leonard would have points in a fight where he would turn it up on a guy to see if he's going to meet that challenge. Oftentimes they didn't, and he would prevail. That's a quality that's immeasurable. You just know some fighters have it, some don't. But no, Evander was not a guy to get you out of there. He could knock you out with a punch if it's well timed and placed, as almost any fighter could. But no. Not a single punch knockout guy, no.
Gotcha. Well, you know, I'm very excited to see, you know, Arthur Beterbiev where he's gonna fight next. I hope he does get the fight with Dimitri Bivol, but the way that I'm seeing it, I don't think Dimitri's gonna want to take that fight anytime soon. At the way Beterbiev, you know, fought last night, and the way his fighting style, you know, dictates. I mean, Dimitri is gonna have to really, he's really gonna have to survive the full 12 if he's gonna even have a chance with Beterbiev. And we know that, you know, Dimitri Bivol, he's skilled, but I question his, you know, motor at times because he fights to the level of his competition, and then at the same time, his power, you know, the way his power is somewhat in question a little bit. But at the end of the day, I think it still is an intriguing fight to watch, especially for a light heavyweight. But that's just how I kind of see it, you know. But I do hope they do fight because it's a fight that I've wanted to see for a while. You know, just hopefully that everything lines itself. But I'm gonna go ahead and let the calls, you know, have their chance. But thanks for taking my call, man, and stay warm out there in Chicago. And I'm gonna do my best here in Minneapolis.
All right, brother, you do the same. Appreciate your call, man.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
You too. Peace. Okay, great call from Abil Mahari. Appreciate it. Appreciate that. Okay, we got 816 in the building. Is that KP from KC?
What's up?
What's happening, brother? How you doing?
Out here moving around in this tricky temperature, man.
Ah, man, yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you.
Hey, man, we was right about Arthur there, man. Arthur, God, man.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want that. I'll say this. If Benavidez is brave enough, that may give us the Jose Luis Castillo versus Diego Corrales at 175. For as long as Benavidez can take it.
No.
Hey, Mike Tyson called the Mexican boxer. Put the Mexican boxer in with Drago and let's see what happens.
Dude,
Hey, what's wrong with watching it, man? He said,
I don't
hey, he a monster.
I don't want to see him get beat up, man. I don't want to see that. He's a good young fighter that's good for the sport. It's a shame that so many other fighters are not stepping up to the plate to fight him. And to force him out of that division where he has finally got a grip on his career where he's making the proper sacrifices to make the weight properly and everything, and he could be a force of nature in that division. It's almost like people prodding Devin Haney, you know, to go fight this guy or push him up to another division or whatever, when he's doing well where he is. All you need is the other damn competitors to get in the ring with him. And that's what's unfortunate. However, there's unsettled business at 175 between Bitter Beef and Bivol. If they can get that business settled, those two men may not even be around after that. Bitter Beef could retire. Who knows? Or Bivol could decide to drop down in weight or something, because he's not a big light heavyweight at all. He's not. And for those who have spoken about him possibly going up to like cruiserweight, no, because he's not knocking people out at light heavyweight. And you want him to go up there with killers like Maris Breedis and Jai Opataya? Are you kidding me? No. But Benavidez has, look at who he could fight at 168. He could fight Canelo, who's been running from him for years. He could fight Morrell. He could fight Mbili. He could fight Carlos Gongora. I mean, there are so many guys, right? We just saw what he did to Demetrius Andrade, which it asked a lot of us to see Demetrius go in there against him, when Demetrius should have stayed at middleweight and probably fared better fighting a Zanabek. But it didn't happen. So to ask Benavidez to go up to 175, where you got this man up there, he would do the same thing to David. And I think what's worse is because David is spunkier than Callum Smith, he'll take a worse beating. You know, you don't win with your heart all the time. You win with your head, you know? And as talented as David is and everything, this man is too experienced as a killer to set traps for him. He could make David think he's doing all right, and all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere, David's hurt. Oh, he's going down. Oh, he's down. And once that point happens, it's over, because he's got you. And when he does that to you, your whole world crashes after that, because you thought you were better than you were and everything, and this man took it all from you. That's why Callum Smith said in his post-fight interview, he was like, I thought I was better than this. I thought, you thought wrong, bro. It's like you guys made a wrong assessment looking at that man.
Yeah, they did it. They did.
He's one of the one fighters in the world boxing today that if a person said, I ain't fighting him, I could understand. Why? No. Listen, I'm not being funny when I say that.
No, that's right.
But I'm looking at him. He's like one of the one fighters in the world that I can understand a person not wanting to get in there and fight him. I can understand why. Another fighter would be someone like Deontay Wilder, who can hit you with that right hand and knock your head off. You know what I'm saying? But that's the heavyweight division, whatever. It's different, because Deontay is usually lighter than almost everybody he gets in the ring with these days. So, but Bitter Beef, if people want to go a different direction, the only reason Bivol should get in there with them is so that those belts can be unified for undisputed. And if they're going to do it in Saudi, he'll be compensated.
He'll be compensated for it, yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's fine.
You're right. Canelo's not going to fight Bivol again, ever.
That's fine.
He's not going to do that.
But man, this guy he's something different. He's something different.
He's different. He's different. He's different, and he proved it every time out. Every time out, he grinds guys to a pulp. He grinds it to a pulp. Marcus Brown, Callum Smith, Joe Smith. It don't matter. He don't grind you out.
Anthony Yard, Gavoskic, all these guys. And you know what? It's the same. You know what's funny? He gets stoppages different ways, right? We've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
But each guy looked the same after the fight. They beat up.
They beat up bad.
Beaten up. I mean, they look like, you know, they've been in an accident or something. It's like, how many fighters of today do you see that? You know, not a lot.
Nah, not a lot. No, they do look like they've been through an accident, man. But that's all I want to say, man. To check it in with you. Stay warm up there, Chicago, man. KC is similar. It's crazy, man. It's crazy right now. Everything's closed, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll holler back at you, brother.
All right, brother. You take it easy now.
Yep.
All right. Peace. Yeah, buddy. What do you do when you got a guy like that that can just go at folks, break them down systematically? You got to be conditioned. Go. Yeah, 704 Joe, those two need to get it on for Undisputed. Stop the delay. Huh? We need to see it. We need to see it. He's no machine. Go back to Mickey and Rocky. He's gonna pee lightning and crap thunder. Boxing and Barbecue says, I've been in my basement working on a project, listening to y'all talk about the weather, and it came back upstairs and it's snowing. Yeah, man. Listen, it's hitting all of us, bro. It's hitting all of us. No mercy. I gotta go outside and do some more snow removal. I'm like, man. Yep. all in all, it was a great day of boxing yesterday. Great card, and looking forward to what's on the horizon. You know, looking forward to it, man. Try it again, Boxing and Barbecue. Try it again. No, try it again, Boxing and Barbecue. Yo.
Hey, Stormybman, how's it going?
It's going well, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Good morning to
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
you. Yeah, I've been in I've been in the basement working on this project. You know, listening to you guys call. You know, the show first came on. You know, I couldn't do anything. My hands were full. I'm sending this planner, but you know, I hear you guys talking about Abel came in talking about the cars can't start and the weather. And everybody talking about it's not -8, -10, and I'm in my basement like sucks to be you guys. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like 50 degrees over here. Just for me to come upstairs about 5 minutes ago, I looked at the snow coming down. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Everybody, listen, when the pipe play, everybody got to dance. That's what it says.
Apparently so, man.
Yeah.
Apparently so. I got some chili over here too. I put some burrito beef off in there so it's banging. Which is perfect because the weather's bad outside, so I'm making you some chili and putting some Fritos off in there and jalapenos. I'm going to town.
I hear you. I hear you. I don't know what I'm going to do today. Maybe I'll make some spaghetti or something. I don't know.
That sounds good too.
Yeah. I'm like, I got to do something. But, man, it's been a trip, man. This looking at this whole promotion for Bitter Beef and Callum Smith, they really went in there ill prepared, man, and they got embarrassed. They got embarrassed.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying they got embarrassed. It's like
Yeah, I let my ESPN Plus expire. Actually, I canceled it. And last night, like around 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, something like that, I said, I'm going to go ahead and buy the fight. So I saw Billy on the card, and I saw Mahoney. You know what I'm saying? It could be some good fights. So let me go ahead and re-up for another year. And I'm glad I did because it was some good fights on that card.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some real good fights. Of course, everyone is talking about the Better Beef fight, and rightfully so, because the man is scary. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just the way he goes about his business. You know what I mean? His facial expressions never change. You know what I mean? I don't even talk about the man's body, but his body was like rock hard, man. When he was getting punched, it looked like he wasn't even really moving. You know what I mean? It's crazy. When you know, he was throwing his jab out there, he was putting his punches together, and you know what I mean. Like you said, he kind of let off the gas at one point, and it just seems like when he let off the gas, he was almost saying like, "Oh, okay, let's see what you're gonna do about it." And when he saw Smith really wasn't really, you know, really couldn't do anything about it, he's like, let me go ahead and get this over with. You know what I'm saying? And commit to, you know, putting the beats on it again.
Yeah, he's definitely a calculating assassin in there. And he works from the bottom to the top to bottom. It's like he doesn't leave anything off the table, you know? He's a fighter to study, actually. It's like, because you could tell the way he prepares for fights. Mentally, he's very sound and strong. Physically, it's equal, and his skills and abilities they're underestimated. He can box. Do you notice the subtle movements that he was giving Smith? The little subtle side steps, left and right, and then to turn a guy, you know, then at certain instances when they would get in close with each other, he would give Smith this push off. He would get him off of him. But it wasn't that he was pushing him off like, get off of me. He was asserting himself physically within the rules. Like, if you do it too much, the ref will give you warnings and even take a point for shoving or whatever. But I noticed all of this, you know, it was happening. And again, as I stated very early in the show, I was talking about the mental stress that these things put on a fighter. Getting hit here, down here, you know, getting, you know, it's like taking over. And if you notice, Smith's face was starting to get battered. And I'm like, you can only take so much of that, bro. I'm sorry. It's not a video game. You know, in a video game, your fighter get damaged and you can see the energy bar going down and stuff. It's like, I can still fight, you know. But in real life, your energy bar going down, you ready to go home. You understand? It's like, it ain't no video game, bro.
Right. Yeah, I also noticed what you talked about a little bit earlier. You know, his opponents. You know what I'm saying? What they look like during the fight, and then after the fight. You know, I also noticed something as well. The look in his opponent's eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like by the time the fight is getting shot, I mean, they look like, you know, a man that's defeated. You know what I mean? They look beat down. They look worn out. You know, they look bad, man. I remember the look on Marcus Brown's face when he was getting beat down. The look on Smith's face when he was getting beat down. You know what I'm saying? All those opponents, they got the same, you know, thing in common. You know what I'm saying? It's like the fight in their eyes. You know, the disposition, the body language, man. It's like, I feel like you said, man. I think he's changed a lot of fighters. You know what I'm saying? And not in a good way. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, you know, I'm not for sure if they come back, you know, for the next fight, if they ever be the same after getting off in the ring with better be.
Yeah. He takes a piece of them, you know? And this is why I say what I say. That's why the trainers need to do better by earning their money. See, Yard's trainers were smart. They stopped it just in time. Because if he had a chance to complete the actions against Yard, he would be damaged. He would be ruined. But he can come back. Smith is done. Because he broke him. Gavoskic, same thing. Marcus Brown, same thing. You know, it's going to be the same for Bivol, because Bivol has ridden a wave of support because he conquered Canelo. I call him the god of Canelo because he the one that made Canelo say no mas to a rematch, right? It's like Canelo pretend like Bivol don't even, he's not a real person or something. But Arthur is going to crush that dude as well. He's going to crush him. And deservedly so, because he should be undisputed. He really should be. Bivol is not going to be undisputed. The only way that Bivol can become undisputed, and I don't even want to speak that kind of thing into existence, but you know that it's something not right. But this guy is a throwback. I welcome him and fighters like him in boxing, because they're the truth serum. If you got some pretenders around, they're going to expose them. They're going to take the curtains back, and you'll be able to see everybody with their little tights on and their little, lace, socks that you used to put on your little girl, with the lace around the ankle. You're going to see them wearing all of that, tights and the little, for these pretenders. The real contenders are going to be who they are. But some of these, they false, man. Some of them. And some of them are names that you all know and love. But,
Yeah, I'm thinking about ways that you could beat better bees. I don't know it. I can't see it. I know he can be beat. Anybody can be beat. But I just can't see the type of fighter that he's going to take. To put it on him. I guess
you have to have what he has.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have what he has, and that is in temperament, skill set, strength, and physical conditioning.
Yeah.
That's asking a lot, because there's not a lot of that out there today. See, this is why certain fights that we want to see aren't getting made, because guys don't want to step up. Look at Devin Haney. Devin Haney wanted smoke with everybody. Why don't his contemporaries have the same? That doesn't mean that he beats everybody, but at least have what he have to compete with him so we can see who the best. Shakur could have fought him. He didn't. Tank could have fought him. He didn't. Loma was hoping to drain him out and wear him out and everything, and it didn't work in Loma's favor. He still won. So it's like, think about it. Now they're pushing Sabril Matias at him, and go up to fight Boots and everything. It's like, but what about the guys that were right there? Tank Davis don't want to fight nobody that's non-Latin. It's like, what is that all about? There's so many things that are wrong in the sport. Anthony Joshua had a chance to face Deontay Wilder last year, and instead they ran this scam and everything. Then they ended up having a promotion at the end of the year where they had them both on the same card, but he wasn't facing Wilder. So it's like, come on, man, y'all done really duped us this time. Because at the first of the year, didn't they say we're fighting Wilder at the end of the year, right? Didn't they say that?
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't happen. Now Wilder drops the decision to Parker, so it's like, now it's like, whew, we don't have to fight him anyway now. We're going to fight Ngannou, right? It's like, scammers, man. But people like being lied to, bro. They like being lied to. That's why you got certain people that are elected officials to this day, because they enjoy the lies. Oh, lie to me some more, Daddy. Lie to me some more.
Yeah, that old Devin Haney, Shakur, Tank 135.
I mean, you got Frank Martin down there. You got so many guys. Michelle Rivera. You got Sandor Martin. You got so many dudes. It's like, why are these men not fighting each other? Don't you realize that Hearns, Leonard, Duran, Hagler, Benavidez, all them guys fought each other except for Benavidez and Hagler? They didn't fight each other. All them guys fought each other, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
How you gonna go through an era and a guy that's considered in the top 3 of your competing divisions and era, you never fought him? Where they do that at?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I only like, you know, be careful. I got a different opinion to a lot of folks when it comes out that whole 140 and 100 class, you know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff that play. And, you know what I'm saying? Until they fight, I ain't gonna talk about, you know what I'm saying, with regard to that situation down there. You know what I'm saying?
Your volume's kind of low, man. Can you speak more into your phone or something?
I apologize. I had you on speakerphone. Can you hear me there?
That's better.
That's better. All right. Yeah, like I said, you know, everything up under 147. It's a lot of stuff at play, and until and if those fights ever happen, I'm not even interested in even entertaining that. You know what I'm saying? Those conversations, just because it's just you know what I mean? I feel like you know, even talking about those, I might as well go ahead and put a dress and a skirt on. You know what I'm saying? Because just a whole bunch of corny foolishness that's going on about it, and you know what I'm saying? I really don't have a lot to say about it. But you know, like I'm saying, the fights last night was some good fights. Not just the whole 2024. You know, kind of continues the way 2023 kind of left off. We had a good 2023. I hope 24. You know what I'm saying? It's going to continue the same way, but. You know, so I guess until the boxing schedule come out, you know, we just have to see what happens next.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so anyhow, so I mean, gonna keep you, man. I know you got things to do, man. It's been a great show. I enjoyed it. You guys talk, and you know what I'm saying. Stay warm. I've been to Chicago one time, and I think like somebody else said, I think it was Coach Joe said he came to the East Coast one time. He said that would have disrespected the hell out of his jacket. I was in Chicago one time, man, and it was winter time, man. I was messing with this in school. I was messing with this girl from Naperville, and Chicago, man, the weather is different, man. I know people say different places, but the Chicago weather is different. You know what I'm saying? And that, you know, that wind came off that water, and it was something else. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, man, you stay warm, you know what I'm saying, keep your faucets dripping, and, you know, see you next go around.
Yes, sir. All right, brother, I appreciate your call. You take it easy.
Hey, you take care.
All right, peace. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's my man Boxing and Barbecue. Yeah. We're going to get ready to run a little advertisement here for a little bit of Stormybman merchandise. Yeah.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improve footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a Focus Ball. When you train with the Focus Ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit, making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the Focus Ball now.
Yeah. Get you some of that merchandise, man. We got some good things going on out here in the community for something in the bag for everybody. Yeah. So just know that we out here networking and working together, man. You know, it's been a great call-in show this morning. I want to say thank you to everybody that came in and participated. I want to say thank you for everyone that came through. Everyone. We're doing some good things over here. We're going to continue to ascend to higher ground. And just know that's what it's all about. We get you over here. Okay, Boxing and Barbecue, I got you. Champion Heart says, get your Stormybman merch. That's right. Get you something, man. Get you something. Got some of them hoodies, man. You know what I mean? You need them for right now. This weather is what it is. So get you something. I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you next week for another Answering the Bell. Peace to everybody. Stay warm. Stay blessed.